Well, it's finally over. Andrea Berta is going to be the sporting director for the club of Arsenal. He is really going to be signing next week. And guess what? The story was broken by two people that are really credible last night. That is Fabrizio Romano and the man himself known as David Austin. And this should be really very exciting and very eye-catching for the side of Arsenal, because you now know that you're going to be having a sporting director, and obviously he's one of the most experienced that you'll ever get in signing high class quality players, meaning that his negotiations skills are really way above the ordinary, and his scouting skills are really great, meaning that Arsenal has reached a level of elevation to bring in world-class players. Much like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. 9th of March it is, and we are bringing you the latest news and information as far as all this is really concerned, and you should get excited for this. It's really a Sunday. United taking on Man United. United posting Arsenal at Old Trafford. And I've already gone ahead, obviously, bring you what we call the match preview. And you can as well watch it onto the video tab in there for the video section. Now, Fabrizio Romano, it was on the 3rd of March, Fabrizio Romano came up and broke the story that, understand, Andrea Berta is now the top candidate to become new Arsenal director in order to replace Edu. Discussions already took place. Berta left Atletico Madrid after building the team with key signings in the recent years. Talks at advanced stages, not yet sealed yet. That's what he told us in there on 3rd of March. He added and said, more on Andrea Berta and Arsenal story reported earlier today. The negotiations are at advanced stages as Berta is giving priority to Arsenal as next destination. All parties are confident to get the agreement done this month, with details still left to be sorted. Now, this guy is really good, and he really chose Arsenal over teams like Man United, because Manchester United also wanted to sign him as a sporting director. Remember, United doesn't have a sporting director in there. Then, yesterday night, Fabrizio Romano told us that Arsenal are close to completing the appointment of Andrea Berta as new sporting director to replace Edu. There are still 4 more details to sort, with documents yet to be signed, but Berta is still giving priority to the club known as Arsenal. That was Fabrizio Romano for you. Now, after Fabrizio Romano, another tier 1 journalist known as David Austin came out and obviously told us that Andrea Berta has reached an agreement with Arsenal to become their new sporting director. Berta prioritized Arsenal above a number of other top-level opportunities, with contracts now being finalized. That's what David Austin really came up with into this story. Then we had him add onto his story by saying Arsenal's agreement with Andrea Berta to become their new sporting director was driven by managing director Richard Garlick and executive vice chairman Tim Lewis, with Josh Kroenke involved throughout on behalf of the ownership and input from Mikel Arteta. Now, looks like it has been one of those decisions that has been really very inclusive, because if you hear that the owner, Josh Kroenke, has been in, Tim Lewis, the vice chairperson, was on, Richard Garlick, the managing director, was on, and even Mikel Arteta, meaning that every partition of the hierarchy of Arsenal was really involved into this decision to obviously get in a man known as Richard Garlick to see to it that get in Andrea Berta as the new sporting director for Arsenal. What does he come up with in here at the club of Arsenal? He comes in here with experience, and I think they've gone ahead obviously choose the right guy, because where Arsenal is, they are a level of signing now top class quality players. I don't really want to see Arsenal getting in players like Merino, Ricardo Carafiori. Where Arsenal is past that level, and they should obviously elevate that squad by bringing in top quality players. And by the way, if you want to keep players like Saliba, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and so on and so forth, these are things we're supposed to do, because to it that he has done it elsewhere and he has done it with a top club. And that means he will obviously come in through and really do the needful. And he will obviously put in a very huge shift each and every time you need him. And he can really come up and give this guy all those players that feel like Arsenal is not gonna win. He can give them new confidence. That I tell you, with all what I'm doing, you people are really gonna be doing the needful, And he was appointed as the sporting director at Atletico Madrid in 2017. Now, for every signing that they made, for every signing that they made from 2017, just know the man behind it was Andrea Berta. And he is really one of those that has gonna hit, obviously, put in a very big shift, and he has written a lot in there. Now, some of the signings he has gonna hit to sign: Antonio Griezmann, Memphis Depay. You can talk about Moussa Diaby, right? You can talk about Diego Costa, Alvaro Morata, Luis Suarez, João Felix, Matheus Cunha, Nikola Kalinic, Moussa Dembele, Ivan Spatonik, Ivan Banez. So he's one of those that is going to hit, obviously, do lots of things in his career, and I believe he comes in throughout Arsenal at a very right moment to obviously take Arsenal to the next level. He's gonna build this club, and they needed a person with a reputation, and I think he's a person with the right reputation. And Fabrizio Romano told us earlier at the beginning of this month that all what Arsenal need is to see to it that by the time we go to the international break, Arsenal want to obviously have a sporting director there that is really permanent. And why that? Because they want to prepare for their summer transfer window. Remember, we are going to the international break, I think, towards the end of March. Let me check here. When you look at the fixtures, the international break will obviously commence from the 17th, right? From the 17th of March to the 31st of March. That's when the international break will obviously do that. Meaning that in all that period, this guy wants to be here. All Arsenal want him to be here to see to it that they do plan for the summer transfer window. And I know in that period, we are obviously gonna be knowing the real truth on who the targets Arsenal are really needing, because you cannot know the priority targets of the club not until the sporting director is here, because he'll obviously sit into those meetings and a decision will be made. Because the moment he obviously starts to talk to that player or the agent of that player, the likes of Fabrizio Romano, the David Austin of this world, they'll get signals and will get to know. Meaning that after the international break, whichever player you'll hear that is linked to Arsenal, just get to know that that player is obviously one of the best that is needed in here. So we are waiting to see how things are really going to be panning out into the mix. But Andrea Berta to Arsenal is a here we go. And even Fabrizio Romano has come up today morning and he has gone ahead to put out a very important post on his X account, and he tweeted that Andrea Berta will sign his contract as new Arsenal director early next week. He's always been top candidate and gave total priority to Arsenal despite several bids. All documents are in place. Deal set to be sealed as reported this week. Now, early next week, documents are going to be signed. That means if the documents are going to be signed next week, means that implies his unveiling is also going to be next week. Not so? So, I call upon for your reactions onto what your thoughts are about this new sporting director for the club of Arsenal, because I know you guys are really so much tapped into this story, and it broke last night, and I've gone ahead obviously bring it to you right now, meaning that all is gonna be okay. I sign out for now. See you later. Continue to subscribe. And Rokani David is my name. We out. Bye-bye.